certain city a man which had devils or possessed with devils for a long time, and he wore no clothes, and neither did he abide in any house, but in the tombs. And when he saw Jesus, he cried out and he fell down before him, and with a loud voice he said, "What have I to do with you, Jesus, you Son of the God the Most High? I beseech you, or beg you, torment me not." For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man, for oftentimes it had caught him. And he was kept bound with chains and in fetters, and he would break the bands, and was driven of the devil into the wilderness. And Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," because many devils had entered into him, and they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep, and the word deep there in the Greek is abuso. So they knew, these demons, that their place of incarceration during the glorious millennial reign of Christ on the earth will be in the abuso. And also we read that Satan will be bound and cast into the abuso for 1,000 years that Christ is reigning on the earth. We also read that the Antichrist will come out of the abuso. In Revelation 11:7, when they shall have finished their testimony, that is the two witnesses, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit, or the abuso, will make war against them and will overcome them and kill them. In chapter 17, the Lord said, "The beast that you saw, he was, he is not, he shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and he will go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth will wonder whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is." In Revelation chapter 20, we find then their destiny. "And I saw the angel come down from heaven, have a key to the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and he bound him for 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the nations any more, till the 1,000 years are fulfilled. And after that he will be loosed for a little season." So sort of the background, or all of the abuso that is described here in chapter 9. "The fifth angel sounded, the star falling from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as of the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit," or abyss. "And there came out of the smoke these demonic creatures that looked a little bit," he's trying to describe them now, and of course you can imagine how difficult it would be to describe things that are so weird looking, and you only compare them to things that people sort of know a little about. They look a little bit like locusts, and they have power. They're commanded not to hurt the grass and the green things, which of course the locusts usually attack. But only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. Now, back under the sixth seal, we find God sealing, or fifth seal, the 144,000 of the Jews, and they are spared many of the judgments of the Great Tribulation period. And this is one that they are spared. They are told they're not to torment those who have the seal of God in their foreheads. It was given that they should not kill, but that for 5 months that their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. Now, probably not many of you have been, stung by a scorpion. It's not a common kind of a thing. We were down in Guatemala, sort of out in a very remote area, and our daughter Jan reached into her purse in the morning when she woke up, and she screamed, and so I went in to see what was wrong, and she said, "Daddy, something happened and my hand just hurts." And so I took her purse and I put it on the ground and stomped it, and then poured out this giant black scorpion, and of course put ice on the sting, which sort of numbs it and takes away the pain, but it's a very severe pain. Years ago, I was leading a group of kids. I was directing a camp for the YMCA in near Oracle Junction, Arizona, and we were in a camp that we called the place Scorpion Gulch because there were so many scorpions there. And I had hiked the kids up to this abandoned mine, and as we were hiking back, I heard this yell back up the trail, and I went back to see what was going on, and this little kid had not a scorpion, but he had this jumping cactus, and it had attached itself to him, and so I carefully flipped it off, and he said, "That darn guy Adam." And I said, "Where do you go to Sunday school?" He understood that thorns and thistles were a part of the curse as a result of Adam. And but it's not, I doubt if very many of you have been stung by a scorpion, but it is not a pleasant thing. But for 5 months, they are tormented with the torment as of a scorpion when he strikes a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, shall have a desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Death is a very interesting thing. The separation of our consciousness from our bodies. It's sort of a mystery. It's one of those strange things that we don't fully understand. Death can be a blessing if you are suffering tremendously and there seems to be no help, no cure, no hope. Death becomes a relief. Can you imagine what it would be like if you were desiring to die but couldn't? The soul wouldn't leave the body. Maybe you would attempt suicide. Take a gun and put it to your head and pull the trigger and blow your brains out. But yet you wouldn't die. You'd be in that kind of a condition, but